You know the vibes. We're back for another week of the Hoop Genius podcast presented by NBA 2K22. I'm joined, as always, by the three-time NBA champion BJ Armstrong. I am Mo Mutsi, and I am a very happy man. Should I tell you why I'm a very happy man today? BJ, can you guess why I'm so happy today?
The Celtics won.
Not only did they win, the Boston Celtics, who were 11th in the Eastern Conference, just back in the end of January, this is 2 months ago, 11th place in the East, and now first place in the East. Meanwhile, across the country...
Celtics are? The Celtics?
Yes.
The Celtics are?
Yep. Check it out,
Wow.
B. Check it out. Meanwhile, across the country, the Los Angeles Lakers are in danger of falling, not out of the playoff positions, but out of the play-in positions. The San Antonio Spurs are right on their tail. They're one game behind. The Lakers' schedule looks all types of tough. Now, BJ, I'm going to go straight in with this. Here is the remaining schedule for the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm going to read you the teams, and then I want you to give me a number of how many games out of these remaining 8 they're going to win. Here are the games. At Dallas, at Utah, at home versus New Orleans, at home versus Denver, at Phoenix, at Golden State, at home versus OKC, and the final game of the season will be on the road in the Mile High city of Denver. How many wins are they going to get out of those 8 games?
At Dallas, at Utah, New Orleans,
Denver,
Phoenix.
At Phoenix, at Golden State, at home versus OKC, and on the road in Denver. I think OKC has to be.
I mean, based on how they're playing, you're going to say OKC, and that's it. And I wouldn't even say that's a shoe-in.
I think the Warriors. I think they beat the Warriors because they've been horrible without Steph. They're 1-5 since Steph got injured. They're horrible right now. They might be the only team playing worse than the Lakers right now.
I say 2, no more than 3 wins this last, 8 games?
So no more than 3 wins this last 8 games, okay? Now I'm going to read you another list of teams. At Houston, at home versus Memphis, at home versus Portland, and then at home versus Portland again, on the road in Denver, on the road in Minnesota, at home versus the Warriors, then on the road in Dallas. How many of those games do you think the San Antonio Spurs come away with? I think they beat Portland twice. Considering, look at the lineups Portland are playing. They're playing like no one, with all due respect to those guys. I think they can beat Houston. So if they win 3, and I think they can even beat the Golden State Warriors if Steph's still not back.
So what are you saying? They're going to jump the Lakers?
They could. I'm not saying they will. I'm saying the Lakers are in grave danger right now of finishing 11th in the West. And this is beautiful. It gets even more beautiful. Do you know why? If they finish in the 11th, Laker fans might think silver lining, we're going to get a lottery pick. Guess what?
Oh, that pick goes to somewhere.
Oh, not only does it go somewhere, that pick goes to one of 2 places. Either it goes to the New Orleans Pelicans,
right,
who just beat them to knock them down to 10th in the West. But if it's not in the top 10, it goes to the Memphis Grizzlies. It's currently 2nd in the West and set up to take over the Western Conference for the foreseeable future. They'll be adding another lottery pick to their squad. So it's just great times to be a Boston fan, you know, B. So exciting.
I can't believe you got, what did you guys jump from? What, like
11th
5th or 6th?
We were 11th. And now
where were you
first.
yesterday? Where were you yesterday?
Yesterday, we were half a game out of first. We were 4th. Remember, I said there's half a game separating the top 4 teams. But because Philly lost in Phoenix, which, by the way, shock, another big game, James Harden has not shown up. He finished with 14 points. I don't know. That's what I'm saying about Philly. I was very high on them after the first few games, but now They got nothing from their bench.
You know what I'm not high on with Philly? You know what I'm not high on?
Go ahead.
Is, you know how you keep waiting? I'm waiting on James Harden. I'm waiting on him. Like, I keep waiting. Okay. And, you know, I just finally have to come to the conclusion, maybe James can't play at this level.
Oh. Because people are saying chemistry. People are saying he needs time to integrate.
It's not. It's not, because you know, you just want whatever you can do, you do. Like, okay, this guy's a scorer. He may have some habits, or maybe he can do something. No one's perfect. Okay, when James was in Houston, you said he needed help. When James went to Brooklyn, then he was averaging 20, and you kept saying, maybe he could do more. It didn't look like it's just something didn't look right. Now the ball's back in his hands and something doesn't look right. You know what I'm saying here? Like, and I don't know if it's like I'm not saying he's psyching himself out, but something is not right here, because here in Philly, he's basically the primary ball handler. They're allowing him to play isolation. They're running a ton of screen rolls. He initiates the offense. They've taken it not totally out of Maxi's hands, but you know, he gets it and Maxi plays off of him. Something is not right. Now, I don't know what it is, but something's not right now. And it's beginning to say, okay, you know, James, like, you know, I don't know what it is. I really don't, because I keep waiting.
Well,
like
I think it could be as simple as this, because over the years we've seen James Harden play himself into shape every season, almost.
Right.
Maybe he's just reached an age where it's not as easy as it once was. Like, we've seen Luka play himself into shape this season, but maybe James Harden, now he's reached the age of, what is he now? 30, 32. Maybe he's just finding it tougher this year to get back to the level he was used to being at. You know, I would say that, but you know, after about a couple weeks, you're playing 35, 40 minutes a night, you will get in shape. You know, even when you're older, you will get into shape. You know what it looks like to me is that he's saving himself. You know how you're playing and you're like, I know if I give it all right now, I may not recover for tomorrow. Yeah. It's kind of like he doesn't want to push beyond this limit. Like, he plays, like on your car, you can set the car can't go past 70 miles an hour, or, Yeah. That's when the police are behind you. Yeah. He won't go, he'll go to this level, and it's then he won't go. It's no matter how hard you put the accelerator, you're not going fast. Not going no faster. And that's what it looks like to me. Because the reason I say that is because every now and then you'll see it, but he won't let it, it's like he'll go downhill for a few plays and you'll be like, oh, okay. But it's like he won't go past now 70 miles per hour. I feel you. And I don't know if it's I hope he's saving it roadblock. For his sake and for the Philly fans' sake, I hope he's saving it for the playoffs. And he takes that limit off, and he can go all out and be the 30 points tonight, 35 points tonight, James Harden, that we're all accustomed to. But that's what bothers me is, Mo, you can't turn it on and turn it off. No one can turn it on and turn it off. That's what I was about to say. For some reason, it just something doesn't seem right with me. I don't know if he's hurt or he's just having like little nagging injuries we don't know about. Something seems off, though. Okay, but speaking of things being off, BJ, you and I were both very off. You and I were both devastatingly wrong. On Friday's episode, when we talked about the Miami Heat and we said, yeah, this little argument is going to light the spark and they're going to be fine. things don't look fine. Because since then, they lost to the Knicks. Not only did they lose to the Knicks, they crumbled in the fourth quarter to the Knicks, who were playing without Julius Randle. And then following that, the next day at home, they got destroyed. Oh, the Knicks beat them at home, but then also at home, the Nets came into their building and they destroyed. I know the final score, 110-95, looks respectable, but that was a lot of garbage time scoring. It wasn't a respectable defeat. They got destroyed by the Brooklyn Nets. I think we were wrong about Miami. Is it time to be worried?
Well, I can't be worried now, but I am very much concerned.
That's the same thing.
No, you're worried. You're like, well, I'm hoping that I'm concerned. I'm really concerned. I'm concerned because again, Mo, you're seeing things. Mo, it's been interesting to watch. Over the years, because with about 30-something years, you begin to see like a pattern. Normally at this time of the year, the better teams, they begin to tighten up a little bit. They begin to play with attention to detail. They begin to like gear themselves ready, saying, okay, we want to be the best version of ourselves as we head into the playoffs. You're seeing Brooklyn go the other way right now. You're seeing
that was a bad loss to the Charlotte Hornets.
It was a bad loss today.
They shouldn't have lost.
You're seeing Miami going the other way right now.
I love it.
The Lakers are trying to go in. I mean, they've been going the other way the whole season. You're just seeing things. You go, man, this is kind of odd. I mean, this is not. You like Philly. Like you would think Philly. This was like like Philly played Phoenix today. You would think that Philly had a sense of urgency where they're going to come out and win this game. Phoenix is, they already went in. They got 60 wins. You would think maybe this was a mental letdown game. But Phoenix played with the desperation, and Philly's just kind of coasting. We keep waiting, like James Harden, like, come on, man. Like Joel had, 30-something?
37.
37.
Am I mistaken? Joel Embiid finished the game with 37 points, 15 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks.
And then you're just waiting. Like I keep waiting. Like, okay, everybody else showed up. Maxey showed up. Tobias Harris showed up. Tobias Harris had a great second quarter.
I was just about to say at the very start when we first started talking about Philly is Tobias Harris is now, it's been about 15 games. He's settled into his role. What my problem with him, remember when the trade first happened, is he was thinking too much. When he got the ball, he was trying to do too much. Now he's got that quick decision making. He knows if he's going to shoot, if he's going to drive, or if he's going to cut off the ball. That's one thing I have been impressed by from Tobias Harris. But I know what you mean. I know what you're saying. Let me ask you this, B, because you've been on, the best teams in the conference. You've been on some teams that weren't the best team in the conference. With, let's say, less than 10 games now remaining of the regular season, if you're a contender, how many of those games do you look at as games, okay, let's finish the season strong, but how many of those games do you look at with, we're going to get some rest because we don't want to pick up a silly injury just before the first round?
Gilmo, I think I shared this with you a week or so back. Mo, I firmly believe, especially when you're heading to the playoffs, there's a difference between practice and game. You have to play. If I start taking games off now, even now, you got to play.
But not every team believes this.
Mo, there's no way around it. So Mo, here's the deal. It's just kind of like preseason. No one wants to get hurt in preseason, but how are you going to get ready for the season if you don't play in preseason?
I feel you.
So everybody wants to be
for the playoffs.
Yeah, everybody wants to be at their best in the postseason, but you don't want to play in the regular season. Well, how are you going to be ready? Because practice is not going to get you ready for the postseason. You have to play and get game timing. That's just how it is. So, okay. So you normally have a 32 to 35 minute run as a starter. Okay. You cut that to 24 minutes because you have to get a certain amount of conditioning to maintain your level because Mo, everybody knows this. The better teams, every team in the league knows this. The guys who don't play 20 or more minutes, you have to go get your conditioning in after the game.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't play, you won't be able to play when you do get into the game.
Yep.
You got to get these guys at least 24 minutes of game action. You don't let them get to fatigue. Okay, maybe instead of giving them 8-minute runs, you give your starters 5 to 7 minute runs, 6-minute runs. We say that's our number, no matter what.
Yeah.
And guys, if we're going to win the game down the stretch, we're going to close it out with our bench.
Yeah.
That's how you got to do. These guys have to play. Guys who are telling me they're not going to play, you can't lose the condition. It's like working out, Mo. If you don't use it that day.
Yep. That is what I'm experiencing after taking 7 years away from play. I feel horrible.
Well, I didn't say 7 years. Yeah. But you got to do it.
We didn't talk about taking a 124-minute game off. I'm talking about 7 seasons deep.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah,
that's how it is. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, you got to do it.
It is tough, but I need to address a couple of things that have been on my mind. First of all, Anthony Davis pulled up in possibly the worst outfit I've ever seen anyone on the world, not just any NBA player wearing, any human on earth wearing. If you want to see the picture, I tweeted it out because I could not believe. I could not believe.
Which one was it? Which one was it?
BJ, I'm going to send it to you right now so the listeners can hear your live reaction. This guy just pulls up like this. The top half isn't even so bad, but it's just the shorts that is just spinning me. I don't understand it.
Hey, man. You know what, Mo? No comment, man. No comment.
Listen.
No comment. No.
If you're going to pull up like that, I'm so glad the Lakers threw away a 20-point lead against the Pelicans. You deserve to lose that game. I don't care if Anthony Davis ain't playing. He deserves to lose that. But second of all, I saw one of the most disrespectful things I've seen this weekend, BJ. And I had this debate with Ronnie Turiaf in the Sky Studio earlier, right? You see the Nets versus Miami game, and you see Andre Drummond running a fast break.
That was great.
Throwing up a deuce sign to the defense.
Was that great or what?
I said that was the most disrespectful play I've ever seen this season. And then the guys in the studio said to me, no, that's not so bad. I said, okay, what's plus that? And they go, like, John Morant's posterized so many people. That's so disrespectful. I said, listen, I would much rather get posterized by John Morant than have Andre Drummond throwing up a peace sign to me while he runs a fast break and I'm getting beat down in my home arena against the 8th seed in the East.
That you know what? That's entertainment. That's pure entertainment.
Man.
That's pure. You know, the guy who originally did that, I don't say originally did, but the guy who I first saw it, I think
I wanted to ask you.
Wide receiver. He's a wide receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs, I believe, or someone. Like he plays in the, and I think he was in the building.
Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, there you go. So he's the first one I saw it, and he was in the building. So he had to pay homage. You got to pay respect.
Man,
and I loved it.
They weren't even in his building though. He was on the road. Like,
oh, it was great. I loved it. I'm all about that. I'm all about it.
Man, I thought it'd be. I thought it's hilarious. Now there's an epidemic sweeping sports media that I want to talk about. It's called Ballsack Sports. I don't know if you've ever come across this, BJ.
I have not.
So it's a page called Ballsack Sports, right? and they post tweets, but they use the same quote graphic as ESPN. But the quotes are fake, but everyone thinks they're real. Okay? To the point where our friend Kendrick Perkins was on national TV referencing some of the rumors that this page put out. And then Andre, this is
what's it called? Ballsacks?
Ballsacks. I'll send you the page. Andre Drummond, someone tweeted out. Someone tweeted out that Andre Drummond said he's not going to be here next year, whatever. And he's complaining that he's spreading fake rumors. But yeah, so this page just tweets out fake quotes, right? And everyone falls for them, and I think it's absolutely hilarious. The amount of like real media outlets, we've seen Chris Broussard fall for one, we've seen Kendrick Perkins. Man, if you ain't following it, And it's so hard now to distinguish what's real and what's not real anymore. But I don't know if you've seen it or not. But I've just been laughing at it, man. I've just been.
I have it. I have it. I'm looking at it now. What is this?
Man, it is it is the future of sports media. They got 150K followers, right? And they just let me try to find one of the quotes for you because it's been a minute because now everyone knows about it. Everyone's got wires to it. But let me find some examples, man, because this is hilarious. But that just made me laugh over the weekend. Do you know what I mean? That's just really made me laugh. So like they put out a thing about Steph Curry being able to bench 405. I don't know how much that is in kg that we use over here, but they just put out these funny like trade rumors, and they put out these quotes that people have said whatever about whoever.
What is this?
Man, it's like he put this one. He put out this one. He put out this one. He goes, LeBron James allegedly said there was talking about having more pressure on him than Michael Jordan, all this kind of stuff. And you just see the fans, the LeBron fans and the Michael Jordan fans going at each other in the comments. And I just thought it was hilarious, man. But what's really crazy now is some of the stuff you see, you just don't know whether it's real or not. You know what I'm saying? Like some of the fake stuff is so realistic and some of the realistic stuff is so fake. Because if someone had told me at the start of the year that Brooklyn's going to be in the play-in, the Lakers might not make the play-in, the Celtics going to be first, etc., man, this NBA season doesn't feel real. It's like so dramatic, it's almost scripted. Did you expect any of this, aside from the Phoenix Suns, who have been a pillar of consistency? Did you anticipate any of this chaos? Like at the start of the year, someone said James Harden will leave Brooklyn after not even being there for a full year. I think this has been one of the most chaotic NBA seasons, and we still got the whole playoffs to go. How does this stack up from every season that you've watched, BJ, in terms of unpredictability and chaos overall?
Well, every year, this year reminds me of a coach who would always ask me before every practice, what's 2 + 2? And him and I always had this inside joke. In one day I may say 7, the next day I may say 13, the next day I may say 71. And he always told me, it's time for you to retire when you say 2 + 2 = 4.
Mm-hmm.
He said in order to play in the NBA, you have to be able to function in the chaos.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
And it was just like he would just randomly come by and go, kid, that's what he called me. Hey, kid, it's 2 + 2. And I would just say 8. And all the new guys who didn't know, they would be like, what are they talking about? And we would just kind of laugh. And it was always great because the rookies would be like, they would always ask us, why do you guys do that? Like, why do you say that? And you just had to be around. He always encouraged me to be able to function in the chaos. Now, I began to appreciate that more and more as I got older and older, because you see things and you've never seen before. Now you're seeing how difficult it is, Mo, to build a team.
Mm-hmm.
Constructing a team today is really, really difficult because, guys are leaving in free agency. It seemed like players.
Guys are getting their contracts and then demanding to be traded. More to the point. Then that's worse than free agency.
Then you got guys who want to build, you guys call them super teams, and you have all of these distractions that you just didn't have before. And and when you asked that, I was just reminded of that little inside joke. Like today you'd be like, this is crazy. Like, this is crazy. Like if I'm thinking of, if you're the general manager right now of Brooklyn, you can't tell me this is the way that you had in your mind how you're going to build a team. If you're Philadelphia, you can't say this is how you're going to build a team. you know, it's just so unconventional the way these teams are coming together. So I just think now this is just part of it, Mo. I think you just have to be prepared when your moment comes. And I think with the success of the Toronto Raptors, I really think the Toronto Raptors, to me, have set the bar.
Man.
The whole Kawhi Leonard thing, to me, is one of the wildest things I've ever seen.
And not just Kawhi Leonard. You got to think about, they also traded two key pieces of their team that have been there for a while, especially Jonas Valanciunas, who's doing a great job with the Pelicans, for Marc Gasol in the middle of the season.
Right. I mean, it's just the whole Kawhi Leonard thing is like, you know what? I'm just going for it. And I don't care how I go for it. And now this is what you're seeing. So, I mean, this is kind of normal. I mean, think about it. Brooklyn, we're saying, could win it. The Lakers, how they came together. But I mean, Philadelphia. I mean, when you look at how these teams are being constructed, you go, what is this?
So what I'm saying is championship windows are now looking to be shorter than ever. Because let's say, for example, you're Memphis, all right, cool. The future looks bright and you've got all these young stars, these young guys. But what if this year is actually your best year? What if you're going to end up like OKC in 2012, where you get to the finals, but then guys want to get paid and have to be moved, et cetera, et cetera. Mm-hmm. And this is actually your best year because next year, the Denver Nuggets are going to all be healthy. The LA Clippers are all going to be healthy. Surely the Lakers won't get any worse than this. The Minnesota Timberwolves are going to be a year better. The Pelicans are going to have Zion back. Like, the West is just going to be better next year. Maybe this is the year that you go for it. But looking at all of these different teams, and I know we're expecting, the Phoenix Suns to win it and all, but maybe someone crazy like Dallas is just looking at all this chaos, like Luka Doncic is just looking at all this chaos and saying, whatever. Let's just go and do what we do. Let's play some defense. Give me the ball down the stretch. I'll convert and I'll hit shots.
Mo, it could very well happen. And I'm going to say this. You have to be able to function in the chaos. That's just, and being on both sides of the equation. Mo, every team, I can say this is factual. Every team in the league has the same problems. It's just when you win, your problems go away. And the other team got the team that doesn't win. Now you got to answer those questions.
That's facts.
Every team in the league has the same problems. Now, who can function in this chaos, in this madness? And the team that can answer that question, what's 2 + 2, Mo?
700.
The team that can function, the team that will answer that will win the championship this year, because the bubble was something. Last year wasn't an 82 game schedule, was something. Now you have an 82 game schedule. It's something. Mm-hmm. And Mo, and all of this looks different. Like, the bubble championship was different than last year's championship. And some of the players who were very successful last year can't function this year.
Mm-hmm. But name's mentioned. Julius Randle.
Yeah. It's just, I'm telling you, it's just all of this is just happening now, and now players got to adjust.
I like that phrase though, function in the chaos. And if you guys want to function amongst the chaos, make sure you subscribe to the Hoop Genius podcast and get your day started the right way every day. Wake up and get your daily dose of basketball. If you enjoy the show, feel free to leave us a review and share it with your friends. We'd greatly appreciate it, as it really helps us bring you this show. So make sure you're subscribed to Apple, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you're listening, wherever you're watching, because we're going to be rocking with you every day, Monday to Friday, every day. Everything you need to know from the world of the NBA, myself, alongside the 3-time NBA champion, BJ Armstrong. Do you ever get bored of that intro, BJ? Do you ever get bored of that 3-time NBA champion?
I just want you to add, I just want you to say,
no gimmicks.
BJ Armstrong. Real name, no gimmicks.
See, every time I say it, I'm like, damn, I need a damn championship ring. So it just makes me want to go and win a championship even more. I don't know how I'm going to do that, whether it be the front office, whether it be whatever. I'm going to win a championship, because every time I'm sick of me doing shows. Oh, I'm joined by the 2012 NBA champion. I'm joined by the 1991 NBA champion. I need a damn championship. It's that time. But anyway, my people, I hope you win individual championships.
Can I say something? Can I say something?
This week. Go ahead.
You're the people's champ.
Hey, that's love. And that's all I need. And that's all I need. My people, I hope you guys have a great week. Win championships in your individual lives. Keep watching NBA because the end of the season is getting all types of crazy. We've got some fantastic basketball on the slate for this week. Man, we're not even going to get into the games we're looking forward to. We're going to have to break it down day by day. But until then, make sure you're subscribed. And most importantly, get buckets.